Number 1. Everyone seems to be INFJ because of mistyping. The INFJ is one of the 16 Myers-Briggs personality types. They are known for their creativity, imagination, and sensitivity, as they strive to uplift others and spread compassion. INFJs tend to see helping others as their ultimate purpose in life. Helping others to unlock their full potential.
Tough time never lasts. Only tough people last.
So that they themselves can inspire others is the kind of independent agency INFJs believe is necessary to help create a flourishing and loving world. As tireless idealists and practical visionaries, INFJs tend to do whatever they can to contribute to this imagined altruistic world. The Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, or MBTI, is a self-administered personality test, nowadays mostly taken online. Since self-awareness is one of the most difficult things to master, it is not uncommon for people to assess themselves slightly differently than they actually are.
Something not right.
More so, each of the MBTI cognitive function dimensions are on a scale. Let's say you score 51% in favor of introversion on the extroversion versus introversion scale of the MBTI, while in reality you are 51% extroverted. Due to this slight deviation, your overall MBTI result is now saying you are predominantly introverted. While the percentages on those scales give room for nuance, that nuance is lost when you look at the final outcome for your type, because that will have the letter I instead of E, INFJ instead of ENFJ in this case. This could happen for each dimension, hence why it is not uncommon for the INFP, ISFJ, INTJ, and ENFJ to be mistyped as INFJ. Now granted that there's no such thing as a test that measures something 100% accurately, especially when it comes to such complex, abstract matters as personality, where the test also relies heavily on someone's self-awareness and self-perception. One can argue that self-administered tests such as the MBTI perhaps only measure self-perception. The INFJ personality type has gained enormous popularity on the internet in the last few years, being considered the most rare type statistically speaking and perhaps the most quote-unquote special because of the INFJ's paradoxical nature. Many became fascinated with this type. Many might have become interested in MBTI after learning about the INFJ type. Eager to find out if they are one themselves, they might be skewed towards giving INFJ answers on the test and mistype themselves. Number 2. Everyone seems to be INFJ because of Pretense. Now I know what you might be thinking. How can you entertain the thought that some of the people out there are deliberately pretending to be INFJs? Yes, it is not a pleasant thought. Yet, during some topic research for a previous article, I found that Google's auto-suggest gave me the suggestion, quote-unquote, how to get INFJ on 16 personalities. Sadly, that means that a significant amount of people are actually searching for it. Besides this more objective proof for potential imposter INFJs, we can think of several motives why people might want to pretend to be INFJ. Polished identities. Looking at how the INFJ type is regarded on the internet, we can absolutely say this type is very popular, if not the most popular of all the MBTI personality types. They are seen as mysterious, wise, altruistic, creative, yet logical empaths. Although the mature INFJs cringe by being deemed as demigods, others keep putting them on a defiant pedestal.
Take the fresh breath of the spirit!
As you may know, according to Myers-Briggs, INFJs are the rarest personality type of all, making up roughly 1 to 2% of the population. Purely statistically speaking, this makes them rare. Rareness is usually equated with specialness, and many people would like to be seen as such. Almost everyone is striving to be seen and validated in some way, via outer appearance, skills, lifestyle, political stance, religion, morals, values, and other belief systems. All of these things, together with how others view us, contribute to our personal identity. Polishing our precious personal identity to be seen in a more favorable light is a common practice in the West where individualism is all-encompassing. It might sound trite, as it has been said many times before, but the rise of social media has amplified this tendency to polish and market our identities. More and more of our lives are lived online. The internet and social media make it possible for you to control the narrative of yourself on those online platforms. A rare and popular personality type label like the Indigo Starchild Special Snowflake INFJ who can almost do no wrong? that might just fit perfectly fine in our carefully crafted online identity. Let's not think that the act of online catfishing, which is the process of luring someone into a relationship by means of a fictional online persona, is merely restricted to online dating and romantic relationships. We all try to lure people in. That is the personal online identity we craft and sell to others. The extra attention you'll get as a so-called INFJ in the Reddit forums is already a mouth-watering thought. It is therefore not unlikely that some who are suffering and in desperate need of some attention might pretend to be INFJ as a way to pacify themselves. Or they just want that label to polish their online persona even further. It might also be a reason why there seem to be more INFJs than the actual statistics predict. Number 3. Everyone seems to be INFJ because they don't understand personality psychology. I've stumbled upon people searching on quote-unquote how to become INFJ and some forums discussing this question.
You didn't say the magic word. You didn't say the magic word. You didn't say the magic word.
So there might be some people out there that think they can become any personality type or at least INFJ if they just work hard enough at it. This is of course in line with the pervasive popular self-help and positive psychology rhetoric that states you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Now, these popular self-help affirmations undoubtedly have truth to them.
Only the tallest tree has an experience of the roughest wind.
But it doesn't apply to all of personality. Personality tree. A tree has a main trunk deeply rooted in the ground and is the foundation of the tree. From the upper part of the tree trunk, different branches grow in different directions. Now, looking at personality, let's say that at your core you're an introvert. Let's also say you would like to develop your extroverted side more, to handle social situations more easily. You start to attend networking events and meetup groups. You also take a social skill course or two. Now, in a couple of months' time, you've developed your extroverted side to a point where you actually enjoy meeting new people. Maybe now you go out once a week willingly, instead of once every few months out of obligation. Returning to our tree analogy, you've grown a new tree branch at the top for extroversion. You could continue on this path and develop some more of that extroverted side. However, at your core, the main tree trunk that is rooted in the ground, you will remain introverted. Your personality has expanded, but the foundation remains introverted. It is highly unlikely that you now need social interaction as much as a natural extrovert would need it. Chances are slim that you would meet up with people now every single night and have a visceral feeling of the need to do so, instead of some alone time like introverts viscerally feel the need for. The branches are flexible and you can grow a few more in different areas or change them.
If you don't like where you are, move. You are not a tree.
But the root trunk you can't really change. It might even break if you force it to bend in a certain way. Looking at MBTI, there are of course a few personality types that are very close to the INFJ, and perhaps only a few branches away from being almost like one. Yet, there might be people out there trying to become an INFJ or another personality type that is completely different from their own, because they don't understand this basic premise about personality psychology. Misunderstanding this basic premise of personality psychology could therefore be a cause of the seemingly inflated number of INFJs online. Number 4. Everyone seems to be INFJ because mostly INFJs study and discuss MBTI Online. INFJs are known to have intuitive and inquisitive minds that seek to understand the essence of complex and often paradoxical matters. Personality in and of itself checks all of these boxes, let alone the mysterious INFJ type. So it's only logical that INFJs like to study the INFJ type a lot and for good reason. You'll hear a lot from INFJs that they felt misunderstood in many societies they happen to live.
Hold on just a second. Yeah, that's definitely the Illuminati.
When your personality type is far from the norm, with a prevalence of only 1 to 2%, it is to no surprise that fitting in anywhere can be a real challenge. From what I've experienced and have seen from other INFJs on online forums and in the comment section of my videos, is that they've felt a huge relief after finding out their personality type could be classified as INFJ. By learning about the characteristics of the INFJ type, many could relinquish the feelings of being alone, weird, or a loser and finally feel understood. More so, Since it's very unlikely to meet a significant amount of INFJ friends or like-minded people in just your day-to-day offline life, the internet helps us find and connect to other INFJs more easily. This way, we can learn a lot from each other and feel somewhat a sense of belonging. To others, this might come across as just self-absorbed, vanity, and they need to feel special. And you know what? In plenty of situations that might even be more or less the case. Yet, the tendency of INFJs who learn online about the INFJ personality is in many ways an essential way to maintain mental health, as they see themselves reflected in the online INFJ communities. It helps them remember that they aren't insane and alone. It can be a portal to the lifelong journey of self-discovery. Number 5. Everyone seems to be INFJ because introverts seem to dominate the internet. Next to INFJs mostly occupying the MBTI forums discussing the INFJ type, introverts in general seem to dominate the internet. I don't have any statistics, but it seems logical that introverts are more prone to be alone surfing the web, while extroverts are out and about socializing in person. The chance to come across an INFJ among introverts who dominate online communities is therefore increased. This occurrence might falsely inflate the perceived amount of INFJs present in the world. Let's also not forget that 1%, which is the INFJ prevalence of 8 billion people, which is the world population, is around 80 million people with the INFJ personality worldwide. That's as if the whole of Germany is INFJ. If a significant percentage of them congregate online somewhere, then of course it seems like an INFJ infestation.